Welcome back to our next exercise on critical path method calculation. Today we are going to talk about the difference between a critical path and the other paths. Right. I'm referring back to the earlier example that we saw, which is exercise number 2. I'm just using the same network diagram to explain this concept of critical path. Now, when we are talking about executing a project, whenever we are talking about execution, it is usually done in this method, milestones approach. So our execution will always be happening this way. This is the first understanding we need to have. The reason is, whenever we are talking about calculating a path, usually we get carried away thinking that path is the one that we are doing the work, and we usually think that the shortest path is the better. But while executing, it is always done based on milestones. But the paths are calculated only for our understanding in terms of what is the duration and how long the project is going to take. With that understanding, let's just move on to this particular calculation. From start to end, for this particular project, we have identified 5 different paths. So for example, we talk about all the way from start to end, right? Start, B, F, H, end. The second path is start, B, because the arrow goes to E, right? So there's another path here, E, G, end. The third path is start, A, C, F, H, end. The fourth path is start, A, C, E, G, and end. And the last path is start, A, D, G, and end. When we add up the duration of these tasks or the activities, B is 13 days, F is 9 days, H is 11 days. So when we add it up, total we get is 33. Same ways when we add B, E, and G, which is 13, 8, and 6, we get 27. The third path is A, C, F, H, right? So when we add up those values, we get 37. A, C, E, G, which is 11 plus 6 plus 8 plus 6, we get 31. And the last path, which is A, D, and G, which is 11 plus 5 plus 6, which we get 22. Now, out of these 5 paths, if we evaluate the bigger number, it is obviously 37. And this is what we call it as a critical path. As we said earlier, longest path in a network diagram is called as a critical path. So the longest path is going to take 37 days, which is also the minimum duration we need in order to complete the project, because any shorter than 37, we won't be able to complete the project. So critical path can be calculated directly by adding up all the paths as well. Number 1. Now, if you look at 37, we know it is a critical path. Immediate path after 37 is basically 33, right? I mean, if you look at it, 33, 27, 37, 31, and 22, immediately after 37, we see 33. That is what we call it as a near critical path. If you have more than one critical path, it is called as a high risk project. Alternatively, if the critical path and the near critical path difference is very, very small, say for example, 1 to 2 days or something of that sort, that is also considered to be a high risk project, because with a very, very small delay in your near critical path, there is a possibility that it can potentially become a critical path or it can delay further. Hence, near critical path is also going to be tracked in our project for better efficient project management, especially schedule tracking. Hope you guys are clear with the critical path and the near critical path calculation. Let me know if you have any questions. You can put it up in the comment section and we will take that up and we'll answer it in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.